get some reaction from Democratic Senator Alex Padilla of California. He's a key member of the Judiciary Committee. Does this jobs report, Senator, do anything to ease concerns about the economy, especially with all the uncertainty right now around tariffs and federal government layoffs?
Thanks, Wolf. And to answer your question, no. If anything, it raises concerns. For starters, we know that the jobs added number is less than what was expected, less than what was forecast. And this report is entirely from within the Trump administration. So he can't point back to the end of the Biden administration for these numbers. Second, as economists will also tell you, there's employment, there's unemployment, but in between there's underemployment. So how many people may still be working today, but maybe earning less, working less, and having a tougher time providing for their families while prices continue to go up? Representative Lawler in the previous segment said it's going to take time, but it was Donald Trump who promised to lower prices on day one, when in fact prices continue to go up.
Most of President Trump's tariffs, Senator, are on pause right now, but there's still a lot of uncertainty right now. How is the tariff chaos affecting the agricultural industry in your beautiful state of California? Of course, agriculture being a major sector of your state's economy.
Exactly. You know, tariffs in general, the on again, off again, in and of itself is disrupting and costly because every employer I know, every business leader, industry leader that I talk to are unable to reliably plan on investments, whether it's what to plant if you're a farmer, a grower, or where to build a manufacturing facility, how many people to hire, because you don't know what your situation is going to be in the next couple of months. When it comes to agriculture specifically, and when it comes to Canada and Mexico specifically, we're talking about California alone being a number one and number two importer and exporter when it comes to agricultural products. So it's not just the growers that are going to feel it. Workers are feeling it, and ultimately it's consumers paying the price for Donald Trump toying with these tariff ideas.
Senator, as you know, President Trump is also making big cuts to the Veterans Affairs Department. He's also planning to dismantle entirely the Department of Education. Only a handful of Republicans have publicly cautioned him against those very extreme measures. What are you hearing from your Republican colleagues, at least in private?
In private, I got to be honest, we're still hearing some of the concern about President Trump's moves, but what ultimately will tell us what they really feel is public statements and public actions. I mean, it's unconscionable that between the entire cabinet that has gone through, that has been confirmed, as problematic as so many of these nominees have been, that there's been minimal, next to zero Republican opposition. Look, we're about to get into these spending plan debates. We're facing a potential government shutdown next Friday. Representative Lawler on the previous segment was talking about their concern about the deficit and our nation's debt. The single biggest contributor in the last couple of decades to our nation's debt is the Trump tax cuts from his first term, the tax cuts for the wealthy and the largest corporations on the planet. If you want to tackle the debt, you don't do it by seeking another $4.5 trillion tax cut that we can't afford, and even less so paying for it by cutting into Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and the other vital programs that so many American families count on.
Yesterday, President Trump claimed he wants to use a scalpel, not a hatchet, on the U.S. government. And he says he wants agency heads, not necessarily Elon Musk, making the staffing decisions. Do you think that's a sign he's beginning to feel the enormous pressure from the public?
If he's not feeling it from the public, he's certainly feeling it from his lawyers, because in case after case where these DOJ cuts and the administration's reckless actions have been challenged, this is exactly one of the things that judges are pointing to. Who has the authority for these unlawful firings, these funding freezes, this access to America's personal, sensitive, personal information? It is not Elon Musk. It is not his Doge team. So I think it's President Trump trying to cover up a little bit. But if you continue watching his message to the end of that meeting with cabinet secretaries, he kind of goes back on it, saying, and if you don't do it, then I guess Elon Musk will. He can't have it both ways. And again, a reminder to the public that when you cut staffing at the VA, you're impacting veterans from being able to access the benefits that they've earned. When you cut staffing at the FAA, you make it less safe for people to travel. When you cut staffing in the Department of Interior, for example, you make it harder for water managers in California and throughout the West to do the work that they need to do to get water from where we have it to where and when we need it. So at every turn, they're doing the opposite of improving the effectiveness and efficiency of our federal government.
Senator Alex Padilla of California, appreciate it very much. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Wolf. Have a good day.